What's up, party people? Welcome back to Exposure. Hey, I got two stories I want to bring you. Well, they're tying together with a lot of other stories, but I want to bring you these two specific stories right now because what's happening to the Constitution and what these people are doing is criminal. All right. Before we do that, sign up for my locals channel if you guys would like. Exposure.locals.com. That's where all my edited video footage will live. And then in the description, you can buy things like My Pillow to support the channel. These things are so comfy, man. I'm telling you. You save up to 66% off with the promo code exposure. The only reason I'm promoting that is because I got to feed my family. And it's the only way I can do that. So exposure.locals.com and then go to My Pillow and use the promo code exposure for all your My Pillow needs. Okay, guys, they are not following the rule of law. You may say, well, Marcus, that's obvious. This is beyond this. This is beyond they're not going to follow the rule of law, so what can we do about it? No, this stuff, hey, Mace, how are you? This stuff needs to be exposed for everything that they are, because the more they scream conspiracy theorists to us, and I'm going to pound this till the day I die, the more they scream conspiracy theorists to us, the more they are only deflecting from their own insecurities. So check this out. Two stories that are in the forefront right now. This first one from the Federalist that just popped today, talking about the January 6th committee, which we all know is a joke already, right? But they admit that they are now doctoring text messages between Mark Meadows and Jim Jordan. The committee is admitting this. This is from the Federalist today. The following message, or the following reported by the Federalist, that Adam Schiff, the Democrat from California, and his staff doctored a text message between Jim Jordan and the former White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, and they admitted that over an email that the Federalist got in their possession. Now, where have we seen doctored information before? Let's refer back to the second impeachment, shall we? The second sham impeachment against Donald Trump, when they had the aide post a graphic that accidentally included a fake blue check mark on a tweet shown during the trial. And that was considered doctored at the time. And the woman who's actually, whose blue check mark that was added to, she's now filing a lawsuit against them, suing them for the information that they doctored against her. Well, let's go back to the January 6th committee, who's admitting that they doctored this email. As the Federalist reported on Wednesday morning, January 5th, 2021, Jordan forwarded to Meadows a 3-paragraph legal summary from attorney Joseph Schmitz, summarizing a 4-page legal memorandum Schmitz had written regarding congressional certification of the 2020 presidential electoral vote count. In a statement provided to the Federalist via email, a Democrat spokesman for the J6 committee, which is kind of redundant because we know Liz Cheney and Representative Adam Kinzinger, they're not really Republicans, are they? So it's kind of like, well, Democratic spokesman for the committee, that's pretty much everybody on the committee, confessed that the committee doctored the text message. Quote, the select committee on Monday created and provided Representative Schiff a graphic to use during the business meeting, quoting from a text message from a lawmaker to Mark Meadows. The graphic read, quote, on January 6, 2021, Vice President Mike Pence, as President of the Senate, should call out all electoral votes that he believes are unconstitutional as no electoral votes at all. In the graphic, the period at the end of the sentence was added inadvertently. Okay, spokesman, inadvertently. I'm sure it was. There's just punctuation. You guys know you add punctuation to different sentence structures all the time, don't you? In your common everyday life. The spokesman admitted the select committee is responsible for and regrets the error. So they're sorry, right? They're sorry that they got caught in the error and are responsible for the grammatical error that occurred. The January 6th committee spokesman did not explain how one could inadvertently cut a sentence in half and eliminate the final 2 paragraphs of a detailed legal summary, nor did he explain why Schiff attributed the content to the text to Jordan's text, a lawmaker, rather than Schmitz, the attorney who wrote it. As the Federalist reported on Wednesday morning, the original January 5th text to Jordan was written by Washington attorney and former Department of Defense Inspector General Joseph Schmitz, and included an attachment of a 4-page draft Word document drafted by Schmitz that detailed Schmitz's legal reasoning for suggesting that Pence had the constitutional authority to object to the certification of electoral votes submitted by a handful of states. That would be Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, Arizona, Pennsylvania. And I thought there was 7. I think I'm missing one. I know there's one more in there, but I can't remember. The piece that Schmitz had sent to Jordan was published at the website everylegal.vote the next morning, and even included the same discussion draft heading and timestamp as the document that Schmitz sent to Jordan. Okay, this is them, the January 6th committee, which we already know is a joke, is admitting doctoring evidence, as they did in the second impeachment against Donald Trump with a blue check mark. In his statement, Schiff erased the final 2 paragraphs and the final clause of the first paragraph of the text message before inserting punctuation that was never there, all without disclosing what he was doing. The graphic displayed by Schiff, which was doctored to look like an exact screenshot, was similarly doctored, as it contained content that was never in the original message and eliminated content that was. Oh no, but it gets better. That's just the first little piece of not following the Constitution that just popped up. The Blaze reported yesterday that the Fifth Circuit sharply rebukes Biden's administration for illegally ending the Remain in Mexico policy, which the courts deemed that they had to keep that in place. And the Biden administration is like, no, we're just going to plow through that and keep going. So the Blaze reports that the Biden administration has suffered yet another legal defeat in its bid to end the Trump-era Remain in Mexico immigration policy, this time in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. A panel of judges, federal judges, on Monday upheld a lower court decision that found the Department of Homeland Security unlawfully terminated the migrant protection protocols created by the Trump administration, dubbed the Remain in Mexico policy, for asylum seekers. Going down to this part, as presidential candidate, Joe Biden described the policy as inhumane because of the dangers migrants face while waiting in Mexico. Reversing migrant protection protocols, along with several more Trump immigration policies, was among Biden's first act as president. However, a federal court ruled in October that Biden improperly ended the policy and ordered the DHS to restart the program. Monday's ruling by the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals by a panel of 3 Republican-appointed judges affirmed that lower court decision after the Biden administration asked the Fifth Court to end the lower court's order. That's amazing news. That's upholding what is constitutionally already put in place. But it's the manner in which they disputed and upheld this ruling. You guys want to hear this? This is incredible. This is from Judge Andrew Oldham. DHS's proposed approach is as unlawful as it is illogical. Just called him to the carpet right off the bat. The DHS claims the power to implement a massive policy reversal affecting billions of dollars and countless people simply by typing out a new Word document and posting it on the internet. No input from Congress, no ordinary rulemaking procedures, no judicial review, nothing. They're just blowing past the normal procedures in which this was supposed to be taking place and posting Word documents on the internet, thinking that that's going to be a legal binding procedure for this policy removal. We address and reject each of the government's reviewability arguments and determine that DHS has come nowhere close to shouldering its heavy burden to show that it can make law in a vacuum. That phrase right there is so damning. That sentence. Think about how revealing that is, to say they're making laws in a vacuum. In their own little bubbles, they are creating whatever they want to create. Adam Schiff doctoring information, them putting a blue check mark to make it look like it's more verifiable during an impeachment hearing, them blowing past any procedure that should be done in getting rid of the Remain in Mexico policy to implement whatever they want. Okay, it goes on, and it's actually even more incredible because Oldham made a point of sharply rebuking the government for skirting the administrative procedures. I'm going to blow this up so you guys can see it a little bit better. Procedures enacted by Congress that the executive branch must follow to create or terminate policy. Quote, the government's position in this case has far-reaching implications for the separation of powers and the rule of law. The government says it has unreviewable and unilateral discretion to create and eliminate entire components of the federal bureaucracy that affect countless people, tax dollars, and sovereign states. The government also says it has unreviewable and unilateral discretion to ignore statutory limits imposed by Congress and to remake entire titles of the United States Code to suit the preference of the executive branch. And the government says it can do all of this by typing up a new memo and posting it to the internet. Folks, whatever they scream, it doesn't matter. They have been screaming. What was the phrase they used for the last 4 years? No one is above the law. They're literally going above and beyond the law to create executively whatever they want to try to create. And then when you call them out for it, they start screaming about it. We are not the conspiracy theorists for calling this out, and we need to call it out in real time. They are disregarding anything that has to do with the rule of law to fulfill whatever agenda they want fulfilled. And we have, at this point, we have to take them as baseless and discredible at face value until proven otherwise. They aren't playing by the rules. We have to take them, we want to consider them, trustworthy in the moment. We can't even approach trustworthiness at this point. We have to assume skepticism. And I hate saying that because I'm not a skeptical person. I'm not a pessimistic person. But we have seen time after time them shirking the rule of law to do whatever they want, to go above and beyond anything policymakers have in place to do to fulfill their agenda. So I wanted to bring you guys those two stories because those are just unbelievable acts of unlawfulness coming from the executive branch. All right. Stay focused because you are not the conspiracy theorists. All right. They're the ones creating unlawful acts and then blaming it on those who want to call them out for it, saying that you're threatening them or saying that you're a conspiracy theorist for thinking that they're nefarious. No, it's being proven and it's being admitted. All right. Again, go to my locals page, guys. This is where all my edited stuff is going to be. I want to post it here. I would love to live solely on YouTube. Focus with me. I would love to live solely here on YouTube. I really would. I love Locals. Locals is a great channel. I love being over there. But I want to be here. But we can't because of censorship. And they're bringing us down even harder with all these new rules that they're starting to put in place. So this is where we are. In fact, I just put up an interview, or I'm putting it up in the next hour or two, an interview out of Wisconsin. You're not going to want to miss that, guys. It is a very powerful interview, and you'll see why once it gets posted. So go over to my Locals channel. Thank you to all my mods, Independent Mini. You guys are what make this happen. All right. I love you guys so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.